sometimes people have what it takes, but they haven't recognized it yet. Just go forward. So what do you need to do? How do you stand out? So what you need to do is be that person that's different and is bigger than you think. Rise from the ashes and fly like the phoenixes that you are. Welcome, everybody, and hello. This is Andrew David, Blake Newbar's partner program. Talking content today. Like I mentioned a moment ago, this is a training I did about a year ago. What I want to do is get into some social media, being able to sit and evaluate your own social media so that you understand where it's at, and then create a plan on what to do, when to do, how to do it, how to evaluate if things are going all right. There's a number of different methods of doing that. And so we did a training a while ago about kind of a social media scorecard. What I'm going to do is give you guys access to inside the high performance challenge folder, which is kind of the challenge stuff that we've been doing to this point. If you guys are not yet a member of the Skype group, you want to make sure that you join that. Chris, if you can drop that link in there, I will update inside that group. I'll post the link to the overall folder again, and I'm going to show you guys some of the elements that are in there and why we're doing that. So what we're going to be talking about today, we're going to go through this social media scorecard, but I'm also giving you guys access to this folder in here. And inside this folder, there's affirmation challenges, there's training about brain health, there's regular challenge questions for you. There's a copy of a life design workbook that I built out. We have training about content marketing, what to post, when to post, different ideas, things like that. There's 30-day gratitude challenges in here. I've added in one social media scorecard template. I'm going to add in a couple of others. You guys will get to decide the one that works for you. So there's a lot of different trainings, a lot of different things in here. Guys, this is all things that I've created either for myself, for others. You get to use it. What I ask you to do is, if you are going to use it, like you'd come in here, don't try and edit or write the stuff that's here. Some people will take things and try to fill in the scorecards. I think there's word elements to some, like here, a copy of the goal sheet. Don't write your goals in here. Make a copy for yourself. Okay. And you can do that. You should be able to open it up in yours, and then you can just come here and go make a copy, and then you can make a copy for yourself. Okay. So a lot of stuff in here. But today we want to go through the social media scorecard. We want to look at a couple of different steps we're going to cover. We're going to look at your cadence, your KPIs, quality metrics, and being able to analyze your results. All right. Is this helpful for you guys? Is this something you guys want to be able to talk about? Yes, hopefully. Some of you guys are already active on social media. If you're not yet active, this is just an additional tool to kind of help you gauge where you're at. So hopefully it's helpful for some of you. Okay. Now, here's some things that we look at. Here's why we use social media. We are starting out. I was talking with one of our members earlier this morning. He asked about, people looking at him and having some credibility, and, are they going to look and say, oh, he doesn't have a lot there, or he hasn't spent X amount of time in that niche, or what have you, right? And so approaching it like this, right? This is the know, like, and trust funnel. And we've talked about this before. People are going to buy from who they know, who they like, and who they trust. Now, what you need to do is overcome the initial obstacle at the very beginning that nobody knows who in the hell you are, or at least very few do. Most of you are in this category. Okay. Some of you already have an audience, and if you do, that's great. You've got a leg up. If you don't, though, and I don't want you to look at it as an obstacle. It means you get to start from scratch. You get to start brand new. You get to build out relationships with people according to the direction you're taking your business and your niche. So it starts with, who are you? Now, either you're branding yourself, or you are branding. The social media scorecard is going to be inside the folder that I have. It's a folder inside Google Drive that I provide inside the Skype group. So you've got to be inside that Skype group to get the link for all of the stuff that's in there. And there's a lot more than just the scorecard. There's, life workbook challenge, 30-day affirmation challenge, all sorts of other trainings and other things. Here's the social media content calendar, etc. Right? All sorts of things in there. So know, like, and trust. Who are you? If I'm branding myself, this becomes fairly easy. You can kind of build your own set of pillars. We had a guest on a while ago, Michael Faber, talking about that, how he's kind of established here's these 3 to 5 things that he talks about. Every single one of his posts is going to touch on one of these topics. People get to know you much simpler if you were consistently putting out stuff that has to do with you. Now, if you're doing a brand and you're trying to hide behind the curtain, as it were, this takes a little longer. You've got to bridge that gap with people, and it takes a little bit more work. So people start with who they know. They start to care because you're connecting with them. The why do I care and expert. People don't care about how much you know till they know how much you care. I do that by connecting with my audience and understanding what the problems are that they're dealing with, that they know about, and the problems that they're dealing with that they don't know about. So I'm doing my research about my niche, about my audience. At that point, I start to build up their trust because I'm answering questions. Now, some of you guys are inside some groups, and this is a question, I don't know if they're on this call or not, but one of the questions that someone else asked this morning was, well, I'm in some of these groups. Some of them aren't asking marketing questions. How am I going to answer a question about, buying a new truck for their business, or, an accountant or something like that? Here's where you guys get creative, okay? One of the things that you're trying to do is help them with their business. You understand their problems. So if you're in a group and someone asks a question, there's a couple of easy ways you can find the answer. The easiest way is probably going to be searching within that group for someone else that's already answered it. Because there's a 90% chance that somebody answered that question, especially if there's thousands of people in that group. It's not like people come into groups and all of a sudden their question is unique and amazing, and oh my gosh, none of the other 10,000 people in here have ever thought of that question. Okay, so there's a good chance somebody else asked it. So search in that group and look for the answer. And instead of just copying and pasting the answer and taking credit for it, copy the link. Has anybody seen what Darren does inside the Blake's Facebook group when someone asks a question that he's already answered? Has anybody noticed what he does? He takes the link from when he answered it on a different question and he posts that link. Like, hey, this is something we addressed here. You should take a look. So recently, and I don't think they're on this call, and I'm not trying to call them out in any way, but like yesterday, I think someone over the last 2 days, they posted 2 different questions about SendGrid, right? Email. So in the first question they asked a couple of different things. Darren answered them. Here's your answers. The next day, they asked another question about SendGrid. Really, same question. And he went, hey, the answer for the question here is in the comments here. And he posted that link. Okay. Now, not only is he saving work, he's kind of showing, hey, here's the way that you guys can research. And that's something that you should do. So if I'm in a group of photographers and I'm not a photographer, and they ask a question about, what's the best camera that you guys use, or lens that you use, or filter, or whatever for, nature pictures, portraits out in nature. How are you doing this? How are you doing that? I'm going to do a quick search. I'm going to find, best cameras. I'm going to see if someone else in the group did that. And then I'm going to post their response, and I'm going to tag them. And I'm going to say, hey, Patricia already answered this in this message. Check it out. Now what I'm doing is I'm positioning myself and telling that person that asked the questions that I'm able to find some answers. I'm also telling Patricia that I'm giving her credit and saying, hey, I'm putting her back up there and saying, look, she already answered this question, so she knows. So now I've got at least a couple of people that are noticing that I'm helpful. And I'm not trying to snake the answer for myself and appear like I'm the helpful one. I am helpful, but I'm giving credit where credit is due. I'm building trust in that way. And that's what you want people to do. Okay, so if someone asks a question, find the answer. The easiest way would be to first look there. The second way would be to go to Google and Google the damn thing. The amount of times that I hear members say oh, I don't know the answer to that. Okay. It's not like you have to go to the library anymore. You don't have to pick up the Encyclopedia Britannica. Just Google it. It'll take you very little time. And then you read a couple of articles, you find the right one, and now not only have you found some information that's viable there, it may be useful in other groups that you're a part of, but you've also educated yourself a little bit more about your audience, and you become a better marketer because of it, right? It's much simpler to build up trust than people recognize. It just takes a little bit of research. Okay. So building that up, show an example of how the link is used. Now I'll just show you what Darren did. So we're in here. Okay. Darren posted, or 2 days ago, and again, I'm not trying to call out this individual. He's asking questions in the group, which is what you need to do. So great. So he asked a couple of questions. Blake pops on, and if Blake doesn't know the answer, here you go. So, but what he does is he gave the answers in here, right? Darren gave this answer. Multiple things, plus here's what you can do on ClickFunnels, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? Now, what happened was last night, same person asked another question about SendGrid. And Darren says, hey, here, your answer lies right here in the last part of your post. Like I gave you the answer. So what he did essentially is he pulled up this right here, and he went in and he shared the link to, I think he did this, and then he pulled up the post, right? And then he shared that link. Okay. So again, you guys kind of just do the same thing. Copy and paste. It's right here. So-and-so answered it. Here you go, right? You're being helpful. And that's the whole point, is you're trying to do that. So it's working people through that know, like, and trust. And the more that you do that, the more likely people are to purchase. So role of marketing, copywriting, your role in what you're doing here in social media. The whole purpose of marketing is to move people through a step-by-step process, okay? And each stage of the value journey, okay? You want them to come to an emotional and a logical decision for themselves that what you have is of higher value than what they have to give up to attain it. So what they want are more customers. What they want is a full calendar. They want more revenue. They want to connect with their audience. They want more deals. They want more shoppers. They want whatever. You've got something that can help them. They're only going to understand that you have something to help them if they know you, like you, and trust you. That's what helps people take action. So all things being equal, people are going to buy from who they know, like, and trust. All things not being equal, that's still what they're going to buy from. Okay. You're looking to kind of position yourself in there. Next, establishing your cadence. So this is your social media. What are you posting? When are you posting it? How often are you doing that? Okay. If you already have a social media calendar, and again, there's a social media calendar inside of here that you guys can use. Here's a copy of social media calendar. You can Google other social media calendars. There's a number of them out there that are free. You don't have to pay for it. So find that. And then also inside of here, I have a copy of a content marketing and social media calendar. There's a whole bunch of stuff inside of here. Just go through it. You can open it up. I've got examples. There's all sorts of things in there. Okay. So use that. But there's other ones that are free that you can grab. If you don't have one, it's time to make one. All right. Next. Establishing your cadence. Photos, videos, quotes, captions, Facebook, Instagram stories. This is kind of what we're doing, right? Now, there are different types of, inside the dashboard, in the partner program, you have section 9 talks to you about Facebook. You have the order bump that gives you posts that you can use. I've done different things that give you kind of ideas, content ideas, what to post, when to post. We've gone over that. We've gone over video training. There's stuff inside on the high performance calls on social media or on the YouTube channel. There's a lot there. You just need to find it. Okay. So types of posts include written, where we're going to go long form plus a picture. Video, when right now video is huge. There's just no other way around it. Right now, video is crushing. Some of you guys are brave enough. TikTok would be I think this is one of those moments where you do what I say, not as I do, because I haven't been building out TikTok. I've been working with too many other projects personally. But if you want to build up an audience, and yes, you can, and yes, this will work. It won't transform their TikTok profile, but most of these businesses have other business profiles on LinkedIn and on Facebook. So your product still works there. Okay. Don't think that just because I'm on TikTok, oh, this won't work, I can't promote this there. That's just nonsense. You're not, thinking about what remember, you're connecting with the audience, and then the audience is going to connect with their clients elsewhere. Okay, so this can still work no matter where you're at. Catalina, good job. Well done. Keep going. Daily videos, guys. 30 to 45 days, 60 days, if you're willing to do a daily video, and make that part of your journey, right? Do a video and then do a behind the scenes a couple times a week, and like, hey, here's the behind the scenes of, week 1 of trying to build my business on TikTok. Anything like that, right? Be real in what you're doing. Be vulnerable. There's nothing wrong with it. People are okay seeing awesome, and then the reality that awesome takes work, and sometimes you fall on your face. So, and if that scares the hell out of you, that's fine. If you don't want to do it, that's okay. You don't have to. I'm simply talking about additional methods that you can use. Okay. And I know most of you understand that, but I just want to emphasize. Okay. So calendar becomes important because you have opportunities. That's an editorial calendar. Let me see. Inside a social media calendar to kind of plan out what I'm going to be doing. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and you can add in TikTok in here. Maybe you take out Twitter. And again, make a copy of this. Don't start filling this in, right? You want to use your own, but you can create blogs, curated content. Curated simply means I'm using somebody else's stuff, live video promotion. I'm creating my own story, original, right? Plan out what you're doing, and it's all here. Okay. You can create your own using this. All right. Now, next, your KPIs, key performance indicators. Sometimes people set up KPI. So again, KPI means key performance indicators. And any business you're in, any industry you're in, KPI is a term that you're either familiar with or you're already doing, you just haven't realized it. Like what are the most important roles and, the measurements that they're looking at when you're going up for a promotion, whatever, they're KPIs. So you're looking at KPIs. Social media KPIs involve likes, engagement, length of video watched, comments, shares. You can include in there things like private messages, right? Or anything that involves some level of engagement. Because once in a while, I'll have a post that doesn't seem like it gets a ton of engagement, but I end up with a couple, 2, 3, 4 private messages that turn into sales and offers or partnerships or something, right? As long as I'm continuing to move the needle. So I've added in DMs as one of my KPIs because I want to see, what type of post is generating contact for me, because that's important for me, because not everything I do is just that $7 sale, right? Understanding your business, long-term, short-term, where you want to be, this will help you kind of write out your KPIs. Okay. So if, for example, the goal is so many comments a week and you're consistently hitting that, then you want to change it for the next month. Okay. So again, comments, likes, views, profile views, new followers, all that kind of stuff. Now, your quality metrics, this is how you can kind of decide this. You're going to look at how your posts are performing versus your followers, right? Like what kind of engagement you're getting. And if you go, look, you've got 200 friends, understand the way the algorithms work. You may post something, anywhere from 3 to 10% of the people on your friends list may see that organically, right? Maybe a few more, maybe a little less, but let's call it 3 to 10, 1.5 to 10%, or 5%. Well, if 10, 20 people see that, and only a couple of them are in the industry that I'm talking about, my engagement's probably going to be low. And that's okay. That's normal. That's why you're going to continually post stuff more. You're going to be putting in hashtags. You're going to be active in groups, and your goal is to be consistent. Above everything, your goal should be consistency. Start looking at other people in your niche, influencers in your niche, groups in your niche, brands in your niche. What are the types of posts that are getting engagement? Is it a survey? Is it, a picture? Is it asking a question? Right? But asking a question that isn't just planted. What's the biggest challenge in your business today? Is a question that's geared to like, you're trying to sell me something, right? We're trying to build trust. So I'm going to decide on for my calendar, number of posts and type of posts. I'm going to figure out my key performance indicators, and I'm going to look at quality. So I'm looking at data on my stuff and on other people's stuff. Who's reacting? How are they reacting to it? Next, And guys, I'm adding this social media scorecard inside of here. I'm going to add the training in here. So you've got these slides. I'm also going to drop them into the Skype group, but you want to analyze results, look at them, create your own scorecard. There's a lot of different ways to figure this out. Okay. And then the goal is to continuously look back at the scorecard, reevaluate how things are going, and then look to increase it over the following week or month or whatever. Now, I had a client outside of here recently who was talking about, should I change my ad? Should I change my headline? Do I need to change my offer? And so the first thing we did is we looked at how he's getting his offer out there. Well, he's only run a couple of ads in the last 90 days, spent a total of like $200, which gives a very, very, very small window of like, is this working, right? Probably not enough time for the Facebook, the pixel and the algorithm to really even figure out if his audience is going to work. He didn't give it enough time. And then we looked at organic posting, and he's like, well, I haven't been posting much because, I ran ads. And then I was like, well, you didn't run ads. Like you ran like $200 over 90 days is not running ads. That's like playing around and throwing money away. Like there's no reason there, especially if you're not doing anything organically. So no, we don't need to change your ad. We don't need to change your headline. We don't need to change your offer. We need to do more. And we need to increase what you're doing. Because right now, if I were to pull out a scorecard and score everything on here, we'd be pretty low on that scale because you just haven't done anything yet. Before what do they talk about? Getting rid of the baby with the bathwater, as it were, right? What's that saying? Don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. Like, figure out what you need to do first and then do more of it before you're like, oh, I got to scrap the whole thing. I got to scrap the offer. I got to scrap this. I got to scrap that because I haven't, it's not giving me a result. No, I mean, you haven't given it an opportunity to get a result because you haven't put it in front of enough people yet. And honestly, that's what you need to do most of the time. So some of the people have been asking in the groups, look, and Scott was responding to some questions inside of the, in the Skype channel. If you want to build out your own group, build out your own group. If you don't want to build out your own group, then be increasingly active in the groups that you're in. If you're not being helpful and you're just occasionally posting something in there, you're not going to get the results that you want. If you're not connecting with other people and praising them and looking at what they've got going on and trying to mimic some things and getting more and more content on your page, you're not going to get the results that you want. So I'm giving you guys access to this scorecard. I'm giving you access to the files that are in there. There's content calendar and ideas that are included in that PDF that I put together. There's all sorts of stuff in there. There's places that you can go to look for ideas for content for yourself. But the key is just get in and get started. So whether you've launched or not, hopefully every single one of you kind of takes this and starts creating. Use this month. It's Cinco de Mayo. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Get out and have an amazing day. Get yourself some fajitas or whatever. Or a margarita or wherever, whatever's going on. But the point is take the rest of this month to make it incredible because you have that opportunity. Okay. With all the BS that's going on for the first part of this month for me that we're having to juggle, my goal is to turn May into the biggest month that I've had this year. And even with travel. So we're going to be taking off and, a week or a week and a half, whenever it is that we finally get out of here, even with travel, the goal is to make this the biggest sales month I've ever had. And so I am going all in on content, on messaging, on phone calls, on everything that I can to generate, right? Make that decision for yourself. Every single one of you has that opportunity. Just decide, hey, this is the month, even if you've said it before. What have you done for me lately? Look in the mirror, recognize you got the power, go out and make it happen. So on that note, all this stuff's going to be inside that Google Drive folder. I am going to share that in the Skype group in just a moment. So you've got it. Feel free to use anything that's in there, guys. It's all there for you. Again, don't try to edit. Sometimes people have what it takes, but they haven't recognized the permission. Just go forward. What do you need to do? Please don't edit.
How do you stand out?
So what you need to do is be that person that's different, and it's bigger than you think. You guys
Rise from the ashes and fly like the phoenix that you are.
On that note,